you kind of see them making the same pieces, very, very, very similar pieces. Now, there's a lot of error and a lot of space for uniqueness, but once you start to copy that standard, that's when the uniqueness, it just becomes devalued and the brand itself just becomes devalued. Who am I fucking kidding? I'm like not that guy. Anyways, what's good YouTube? It's your boy JadenRaJ and I'm back with a video. And you can tell by today's title, today we'll be talking about the clothing brand effect. Now I kind of wanted to start these kind of fashion commentary videos on my channel where I just sit down in a more relaxed format rather than have it completely scripted and be so serious, and just talk about a specific topic that I usually see in the fashion lifestyle, or just like a general topic that you obviously see a lot. So we all know, like, sometimes having a clothing brand is like a huge milestone for some people, especially if they're like in the fashion community or a part of any other kind of creative endeavor. I can kind of attest to that as someone that really wants a clothing brand of his own. And obviously the start of 2020, TikTok literally took over the world. Take that how you want, take that in a good way or bad way, but TikTok literally blew up the world. So I think clothing brands and TikTok kind of created this clothing brand effect that I will be talking about more in this video. Now, like I've just stated, someone who wants to start a clothing brand for himself, this is not to bash any clothing brands or just bash people that are specifically doing any of the many subtopics that I will be talking about in this video, but I just want to bring like awareness, or like give my mind clarity, or just basically tell you guys what's going up here about certain things that I've been seeing in the fashion community. A lot of things that I do see is just a lot of repetition. Obviously TikTok is like one of the biggest platforms to blow up your brand on, and because I'm an avid user of TikTok and just other social media platforms, I see so many people promoting their brand, and it kind of basically starts with, oh, the best hoodie that you can get for this price, the best quality blank, or like the best quality piece, or like you need to get this right now or else you're missing out type vibes of those videos that you see along TikTok. I always question, like, why are all these brands the same? And as I started going through that, I obviously started doing a lot of research and just seeing a lot more things, like to kind of niche that down and realize like why all these brands are the same. I mean, obviously it's kind of just because like everyone uses the same manufacturer, everyone uses the same designer, everyone uses the same supplier, everyone uses the same everything. Don't be misconstrued on what people are saying on TikTok, because a lot of people use the same manufacturers, especially if you're like in a sort of clique or you're in a sort of friendship, especially if that one friendship, if someone or a couple people are doing good on their brand, of course they're going to share their knowledge, which is also very good because they're not gatekeeping. They're giving their people and they're putting their people on. But then you kind of see them making the same pieces, very, very, very similar pieces. Now, honestly, you can do this. There's nothing wrong with this, because what I'm also about to go into is kind of like the standard of what people actually copy. So yeah, but my problem is like, I get that you're putting your whole team on, but at least diversify the products, at least make everything or things look different, because I'm honestly seeing a lot of just like the same quality, the same design, or same look, or same cut, just in a different color, just with a different brand name. And it's just like, well damn, like you know what I'm saying? Like, to me that's just like, well damn. And when I kind of want to speak on this standard, because it's like, once one brand sets that standard and has the strategy, the best plan, the best marketing to blow up their brand and blow up their pieces, this obviously will give people more of the confidence to do the same, which can also go into people copying their standard. And it might not intentionally be copying, but I was kind of watching this show called The Hype on HBO Max. If you guys don't know, if it's Offset, Marnie and Beffy, and it was this one designer on there where he put a cactus on his shirt, and Beffy kind of went up to him and was like, I don't know, like it seems very familiar. Or like this other guy, he had like a bee that kind of resembled Gucci, and like a gold bee, a gold G or whatever, and they were kind of just like basically saying like, you might have not intentionally copied them, but because you've had so much influence from them and seen them do so good with their marketing, their strategy, their clothing, their branding, and all of that, you kind of subconsciously copy them. It might not be intentional, but you subconsciously, your mind subconsciously said, oh, like, let me put this because you think nobody's done it. But in fact, you've definitely seen it. You're probably wearing it, but your mind subconsciously puts you in that position where it's like, oh, I don't know, this is unique to me. But it's not. There's so many brands out there that obviously some people can be unique. There's a lot of error and a lot of space for uniqueness, but once you start to copy that standard, that's when the uniqueness, it just becomes devalued and the brand itself just becomes devalued. And I must say, some of y'all shit is so, and I must say some of y'all brands are obviously really fire, but like I just said, the uniqueness starts to get devalued. Remember that you have your own brand, your own message, your own things that you want to portray through your clothes. So once you start to use the same manufacturers or like the same type of strategy, if you try to copy the standard on your own brand and the standard has a completely different message from you, you're kind of messing up the message for your own brand, which I think is very like detrimental to your own brand and its name. Okay, so let me give you a huge example, or let me not, like, I don't have a huge example, but let me just like break it down a little more. So basically, let's say someone's brand is like, oh, for like people who are underdogs, right? People who are underdogs, where they basically like have these like real like motivating messages on their shirts, but because they copied the standard, their shit doesn't even relate to underdogs anymore. It's just a mimic of the standard with that fake kind of message that they're trying to portray, but they're not really portraying because they're copying the standard. They're not doing this shit on themselves. No. I am not no motherfucking fashion expert. I am not no fashion genius. I just literally feel like you can see the shit happening. And if you say no, then it's like, I don't know what to tell you, because you can literally see the clothing brand effect happening, where someone copies the standard, takes a little bit of what they have, adds it to their brand, sometimes can get miscrewed with their own message because they copy the standard. Now their message is kind of what the standard's message is, and then you're pushing it out to people at the same rate, the same speed, the same clothing as that standard. Now this is just causing the clothing brand effect, if you get what I'm saying. I'm not saying this just to say this. I'm saying this because like I genuinely feel like I see it and I know what's going on. I feel like I'm woke to this shit. Like I don't know. And obviously, like I don't have a brand of my own, but like I said, I kind of do want to start a brand, a label up. But I will say that like when you're going into kind of designing a brand, my kind of advice would honestly be, and I obviously am going to take a test to this advice because like I just said, I'm going to start a clothing brand. So what I'm going to say is like, when I do start making designs and like decisions for my clothing brands, I honestly don't want to take inspiration or look at any other clothing brands, because I want my clothing brand to be as unique as possible, and I don't want my clothing brand to fall into that clothing brand effect, because a lot of people obviously don't do it intentionally, because like I just said, you subconsciously put yourself in that clothing brand effect, making your brand like the standard. And I keep saying the standard and I keep saying the clothing brand effect because the standard is obviously that one clothing brand or a couple clothing brands, the standard of a clothing brand ecosystem that people just tend to pick from and copy. Yeah, like I said, I just want to be as unique as possible, so my mind will definitely be very clear-headed and very like open-minded to a lot of different designs, a lot of different fabrics, a lot of different manufacturers, a lot of different people. I will obviously be doing my own research. Now this might be a harder way, obviously, because it's like, if you have the standard there, why not just mimic? Now that can obviously be people's mindset, but it's like sometimes you don't even want to take the easy route because you don't want your brand to fall into that pit. You know what I'm saying? Fashion is only going to develop. Like, how are you going to start diversifying yourself? Are you just going to put out every single piece that you see the standard put out? Perfect example too is like this whole era of tapestry. Like, I saw a whole bunch of people go through an entire era of tapestry. Now I saw one brand that I saw really started that shit, like really started the tapestry kind of train, and I just saw a whole bunch of people following suit. And like, I mean, listen, I'm not a brand owner. I'm not a fashionable knowledge person as far as being in the industry, knowing what's next, knowing anything like that. But I think I have common knowledge to what's going on. Now, like I said, you guys can also take this video how you guys can also interpret the clothing brand effect totally different, and I obviously want to open discussion because that's what I kind of want these videos to be. But this is kind of just like what I've been like hearing from other people, seeing on the TikTok community, TikTok comments, YouTube comments, Instagram comments, close friends of mine, people in the industry, people that I go see, events that I get invited to. All of this is not new. It's just everything that I've seen, I've heard, put together with my own ideas, and I'm just kind of formulating this as one video to kind of put an open discussion out. Yeah, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this kind of format of a video. I actually like just talking to you guys rather than scripting a lot of stuff out, because I feel like it's just more unique to my personality, and you guys actually get to see my personality a lot more rather than just being here. Oh yeah, today I have this video and I'll be showing this. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn that post notification bell because I am dropping a lot of videos for the rest of 2022. So peace.